welcome. I'm back with another edition of Race to Power. Here's what we have lined up for you. Now in India, people are celebrating the Hindu festival of Holi today. While the streets are coloured, Delhi Chief Minister can only see shades of grey. But can Arvind Kejriwal's arrest be a blessing in disguise for the India bloc? We will ask an expert. The opposition is leading the race in Senegal's presidential elections. People are already out in the streets, not protesting but celebrating. The results aren't out, but the people are ready to welcome the new leader after 3 years of turbulence. Currently in the Enforcement Directorate's lock-up in Delhi, Aam Aadmi Party leader Arvind Kejriwal has issued what is turning out to be a controversial chief ministerial order. Delhi Minister Atushi has said that the Delhi Chief Minister sent his directions from the agency's custody to initiate public welfare works related to water and sewage. The Enforcement Directorate says that it will investigate if Kejriwal's action violates the court's order about the terms of his custody. The ED is investigating Kejriwal on charges of violating the Special Prevention of Money Laundering Act. While sending Kejriwal to the ED's custody, the court said that his wife, Sunita Kejriwal, and personal assistant, Bibhav Kumar, can meet him every day for half an hour between 6 and 7 p.m. His lawyers can meet him for half an hour more. The ED is expected to probe if due processes were followed at these meetings. Legal experts say that only the court and the Lieutenant Governor can decide whether a Chief Minister can run his government from jail. Now at the ED headquarters, meetings of arrested people with their lawyers and family members is monitored on CCTV. Now, Delhi's Water Minister Atushi told the media on Sunday that Kejriwal sent her a document from ED custody. She added that the paper contained his directions to resolve public issues related to water in the national capital. The minister further informed that the Chief Minister had directed her to issue instructions to the Chief Secretary and other officers as well. The ED claims it has not given Kejriwal any computer or paper. So the question is, how did Kejriwal communicate his instructions and whether it is legally admissible? Kejriwal's arrest has become a rallying point for the opposition India bloc. The alliance has announced it will hold a mega rally on March 31st at Delhi's Ram Leela Maidan to protest against Arvind Kejriwal's arrest in the Delhi liquor policy case. The Aam Aadmi Party has announced a social media campaign against Kejriwal's arrest. The Delhi Chief Minister was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate on March 21st. He was sent to the Enforcement Directorate's custody till March 28th for detailed and sustained interrogation on the alleged irregularities in the Delhi excise policy scam that has now been scrapped. Now, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's arrest has triggered a political storm just a month ahead of Lok Sabha elections. While the Aam Aadmi Party leader's future remains bleak, the big question is this: can this adverse situation for the party bring the opposition India bloc closer? Days after Delhi's district court granted his 6-day custody to allow the Enforcement Directorate to interrogate Kejriwal, the opposition India bloc made an announcement to hold a joint rally at Delhi's Ram Leela Maidan on March 31st in protest. Leaders of the alliance came together on Sunday to address a press conference calling Kejriwal's arrest, and I'm quoting, authoritarianism and suppression of democracy.
जिस तरीके से लोकतंत्र पे प्रहार हो रहा है, उस लोकतंत्र को बचाने के लिए इंडिया गठबंधन 31 तारीख को रामलीला मैदान में एक बड़ी रैली करेगा, जिसको तमाम घटक दल के नेता जो है संबोधित करेंगे.
With elections slated to start on April 19th, which is less than a month away, AAP chief's arrest gives rise to several scenarios that can possibly play out over the next few days. Scenario 1. Amid an ED investigation on Kejriwal's involvement in the alleged liquor policy scam, if the Delhi Chief Minister does not get any legal relief soon, his absence creates a vacuum in the top leadership for the Aam Aadmi Party. Not to mention, there is no AAP leader who can boast of a similar mass appeal amid voters. Scenario 2. The arrest of several key opposition leaders such as former Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren and more recently BRS leader Kejriwal might prompt opposition leaders to jump ship and join the BJP to avoid a similar fate. There is also a chance of scenario 3, where the India BLOC leadership puts aside all differences to make a comeback in the face of this political adversity. Should the legal troubles for Arvind Kejriwal be resolved in time for the Lok Sabha elections? The Aam Aadmi Party, in alliance with Congress and other opposition parties, has a golden opportunity to turn the tide in its favour. But in the face of all these possibilities, let's also take a look at how the vote bank in India's national capital has voted in the last decade. In the 2014 Lok Sabha elections, the Bharatiya Janata Party secured a mandate on all 7 seats in Delhi. However, a few months later, state elections in the capital saw a different outcome, with the Aam Aadmi Party sweeping the mandate, winning 67 out of 70 seats. In the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, we saw a similar outcome in New Delhi, with the BJP once again winning all 7 seats. However, the Delhi vote bank once again brought the Aam Aadmi Party back to power in the assembly elections once again, with AAP winning 62 of 70 seats in 2020. And so we circle back to the question we have been asking. Will the India Alliance put up a more united front in times of adversity? And can Arvind Kejriwal turn the tide in his party's favour to break the pattern in how the national capital votes during the Lok Sabha elections? Now, to take that question up, we are being joined by Sandeep Ghosh. He's an author and political commentator. He's joining us live from Kochi. Mr. Sandeep, it's good to see you. I want to ask you straight away, do you think the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal will actually benefit the India bloc in any way?
Ananya, you have to see this in 2 parts. When you're talking the India bloc, I think you should see the national scenario. And the other part is when you're talking Aam Aadmi Party, it is the scenario in Delhi. Now, Delhi, there is a very funny situation. Congress has itself been taking on Aam Aadmi Party on these same issues of the liquor scam, etc., all this while. For Congress to go back to the electorate and say, here, you see, Arvind Kejriwal has been arrested, unfairly or unjustly, etc., would be a tough call, and they will only make the situation easier for BJP to take them on, saying that, see, Congress just does lip service for corruption, but when it actually comes to this, they're supporting the same person whom they were so vociferously criticizing just a few months ago. And so within the Congress ranks also, you see the, the sort of a, you'd say the some sort of differences or dissonance. So you didn't have Ajay Maken even go to Kejriwal's house that day to in solidarity and the rest of it. So that's a very, very confused situation. Now, how does the India Alliance, can they leverage it nationally to say, okay, as you were saying, democracy is under threat, everywhere the opposition people are being targeted, how does it go? Now here, at one level, it might appear very counterintuitive as to why BJP take this kind of action just before the election and give handout to the opposition agenda, saying that, they are trying to throttle opposition or immobilize the opposition. But BJP seems to be also playing on a strategy, because the opposition today are really caught in a glass house syndrome. Everybody has got some skeletons or the other to hide. Not that that's not to mention BJP doesn't have anything, but as on date, since BJP is in the ruling party, they do not, they're not that vulnerable or exposed. But each opposition party have their own. You were talking about Kavita just now. So Kavita has her own interests to cover up. Similarly, things are happening in Jharkhand. There are things happening in West Bengal. Everybody has their own irons in the fire. So how do they therefore come together? So how much of this will be just kind of a show, demonstration sitting in Delhi?
Right.
And how much it will actually pan out with India Alliance, consolidating? It's anybody's guess. Today one is reading that there is even Congress's alliance with RJD in Bihar is in trouble. So where do you go? In Kerala, you find CPI coming very strongly against Rahul Gandhi's candidature from Wayanad, saying that if you have to oppose BJP, why do you have to oppose BJP here from Kerala?
Absolutely.
And that to taking on the alliance partner.
Right.
So there are a whole lot of contradictions, I think,
right.
which, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Sandhi, we are completely out of time, but you make very interesting points there. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Although the BJP's latest list of candidates has several surprises, we're talking about the fifth list of the Bharatiya Janata Party. One name especially stands out, and that will be the Bollywood star, Kangana Ranaut. Now making her electoral debut, Kangana will be contesting the Lok Sabha polls from the Mandi constituency in the Indian state of Himachal Pradesh. In our next report, we explore the actor's journey from the silver screen to politics.
Bollywood star Kangana Ranaut's foray into politics may not be surprising to many. The actor has been in the news for her bold political statements and her unabashed support for the ruling BJP. Also, she had indicated earlier that she will take the political plunge, although she did refute prospects of contesting from her home state, Himachal Pradesh. However, the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party has decided to field her in her birthplace, Mandi.
This is my privilege. This is my birthplace, which has now called me back. My own people have called me back. And if they choose me, I will serve them wholeheartedly.
So while Kangana makes a crucial transition from the world of cinema, all eyes will be on how her image as an outspoken celebrity will fare in electoral politics. The star has often made controversial statements that put her at odds with fellow Bollywood stars. A key debate she sparked was about nepotism in Bollywood. She accused big industry names of supporting star kids over outsider talent. The debate has since then gained momentum, but the controversial image, apart from her performances on screen, have garnered critical acclaim. Her debut performance bagged the coveted Filmfare Award. She has got the prestigious National Award 4 times. Several of her women-centric roles are inspired by real-life characters, like the Queen of Jhansi, Rani Lakshmibai in the film Manikarnika, or the role of former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister and actor Jayalalitha in the biopic Thalaivi. The actor will soon be seen in another period political drama, Emergency. The film will depict the most controversial spectacle of Indian democracy. Kangana will play Indira Gandhi, the first woman Prime Minister of India. The film will release this June after the Lok Sabha poll results are declared. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
India's election season brings with it an unending drama of alliances, partnerships and collaborations. And India's state of Maharashtra is no stranger to political mergers. In the latest move made by the BJP in Maharashtra, the party has reportedly proposed a merger between Raj Thakre's Maharashtra Navnirman Sena and the Eknath Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena. These are still murmurs and initial reports. Both parties are yet to make an official statement on this development. Remember, this speculation follows a high-level meeting Raj Thakre and Union Home Minister Amit Shah just a few days ago. Political buzz from Maharashtra reveals that the Bharatiya Janata Party is trying to position the MNS chief Raj Thakre as the quote-unquote natural heir of Shiv Sena founder. the late Balasaheb Thackeray's legacy. Raj Thackeray will reportedly be made the president of the newly merged party. To give our viewers a little more perspective here, Raj Thackeray is the nephew of late Balasaheb Thackeray. In 2006, the leader broke away from the Shiv Sena and formed the Maharashtra Navnirman Sena, apparently miffed after his cousin Uddhav Thackeray was made the Shiv Sena leader and not him. But how does this merger benefit the Bharatiya Janata Party's prospects in Maharashtra? Reports say that the BJP is eyeing a long-term partnership with Thackeray's MNS to appeal to the state's Maratha voters. To explain this to our international viewers, the Maratha vote bank essentially refers to the community of voters who are native to the state of Maharashtra. But the prospect of this new merger is not all roses. A few reports from the Shiv Sena camp have revealed that Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde is reportedly hesitant over this merger and what it means for his political future. What now remains to be seen is how the BJP balances the scales to keep all leaders and voters of the state happy. Our principal correspondent Disha Shah has more on this.
The dynamics of Maharashtra politics look set for another massive change. We witnessed the political landscape changing with the split of Shiv Sena and the NCP. And now is a merger on the cards which may further change the political landscape if the Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and the MNS Raj Thackeray agree to all the points.
Shifting our focus to another race to power now, early results from Senegal's presidential election show that opposition candidate Bassirou Diomaye Faye may have clinched an outright majority to become the 5th president of the African nation. He will replace President Macky Sall, who is stepping down after a second term marred by violent unrest over the prosecution of opposition leader Ousmane Sonko. Currently, Faye is leading with 56.7% of the vote. Faye is backed by firebrand opposition leader Ousmane Sonko, who was disqualified from the race because of a defamation conviction. Sonko is backing the co-creator of his now dissolved PASTEF party, Faye, who was also detained on defamation charges a year ago. Just days before the vote, an amnesty law was passed that allowed the release of both leaders. Faye's rival, former Prime Minister Amadou Ba, the ruling coalition received 31% of the votes. Ba, 62, is the candidate backed by outgoing President Macky Sall, who is stepping down amid a drop in popularity. The opposition campaign focused on the police crackdowns and protests and the government's failure to cushion rising cost of living. Concerns that Sall could seek to extend his mandate beyond constitutional limits further strengthened their case. Over the weekend, Faye's supporters had already started celebrating his victory in the streets of the capital, Dakar.
I say it's great because it's democracy that's winning. Everyone thought it would never happen. Today, if these results are indeed confirmed, it's Senegal that absolutely wins.
Several opposition contenders in Sunday's election have already conceded defeat to Faye. The outgoing President Macky Sall has vowed to peacefully hand over office to his successor. This comes after the country's top court blocked his attempts to delay the elections for 10 months. Many hope the election will bring stability to Senegal after 3 years of political turbulence. Now, Bulgaria is facing a political storm. Former EU Commissioner Maria Gabriel has withdrawn her nomination to become the next Prime Minister of Bulgaria. The centre-right GOVT party leader has said that there is no consequence or consensus on forming a new government with the We Continue the Change party or the PP party. Gabriel initiated the efforts to form a new government after the resignation of Prime Minister Nikolai Denkov of the PP party on the 5th of this month. Gabriel said that the negotiations failed due to PP's demands for the post of Interior Minister.
I will submit a letter that I am withdrawing my candidacy for Prime Minister. Considering the current situation, GOVT will not participate in negotiations for a second term.
If a second candidate for Prime Minister from the two biggest parties fails to form a government, then Bulgarian President Rumen Radev will name a third party that proposes a candidate. Failure to choose a candidate will lead to snap elections. The people of Myanmar have been living in a state of coup for the last 3 long years. The last time the country had elections was in the year 2020. And now, for the first time since then, the military has hinted at elections. But even that will not happen nationwide. Myanmar's military chief spoke to Russia's TASS news agency. He said that the country has plans to hold an election if there is peace and stability, but it may not happen nationwide. The junta has repeatedly extended emergency rule every 6 months in the country, claiming that Myanmar is not stable enough at the moment. The statement comes at a crucial time. The military is facing its biggest challenge since first taking power. A youth-led pro-democracy uprising has transformed into an armed resistance movement. The military has heavily cracked down on the protests, but that has led to the resurgence of old battles. Many ethnic minority armies in northern and eastern Myanmar have become active. Heavy artillery and fighter jets have been deployed by the army. The military has been accused of committing systemic atrocities. However, the junta has denied all these allegations. The various factions of Venezuelan opposition seem to have finally found their presidential candidate. Opposition leader Maria Corina has named 80-year-old historian Corina Lloris as their candidate for the upcoming elections. Now, Lloris will run against President Nicolas Maduro, who is seeking his third term. This comes as Maria Corina Machado herself has been blocked from running for president. The appointment of Lloris as an alternative candidate produced an initial surprise in the public. This is due to the fact that she is little known among the population. Lloris was part of the group of civil society personalities that formed part of the opposition's National Primary Commission. However, there is now a lot of chatter about Lloris's inexperience in the political field. The 80-year-old debut is a renowned historian and academic. Meanwhile, Machado, who has been a member of Venezuela's National Assembly, has been banned from holding public office in the country. Last June, she was disqualified from running from public office for 15 years, for supporting US sanctions. And at the time, Machado was the front-runner for the opposition primary. She eventually won the race in October as well. Results showed Machado received over 93% of the primary vote. The primaries were held as Maduro's government accepted a deal known as the Barbados Agreement. In exchange, the US eased certain sanctions on the condition that the deal was upheld. But Machado remains under the ban even after the Barbados Agreement. And with that, we are wrapping up this edition of Race to Power. Thanks for watching with me, Ananya Datta. Goodbye.
India's Global Voice, the channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India.